Actually. Hey everybody, it's Brittany Lachey and I'm back with another video. So today's video is another pregnancy video. And it's really about my symptoms from week 8 to 12. I took notes, so if I'm looking down, that's why. I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what was really going on in my body, how I felt, and maybe what you can expect. So in pregnancy weeks 8 through 12, what's interesting was I went to my baby moon, and I uploaded a video on that yesterday. So you guys can go ahead and look to that. But that's when I started to experience some symptoms that I hadn't experienced, which was shortness of breath. I was just like depleted of all breath. Like even now, I feel like I'm out of breath, and I go and I watch the videos that I've been uploading, and it sounds like I'm gasping for air, but really I'm just out of breath because I'm speaking. So if I'm talking on the phone and I'm walking around, like I'm exhausted because I feel like, I don't know, it's a shortness of breath. I'm breathing for two, I guess. It's a lot more difficult. So that's one of the symptoms that I had, that I experienced on my baby moon in Belize. And that was a new one, but now it's a lot more consistent. I also needed to use the bathroom more. And it was all the time, regardless of how much liquid I drank or I didn't drink. But I had to remind myself to make sure that I was drinking as much as possible. I carry around a little jug with me that's 72 ounces. And that gets the majority of my water in per day. And I keep it as a reminder that I should be completing it, as well as another bottle as well. I've had ultrasound techs tell me that technically I should be consuming maybe about 96 ounces, especially when prepping for an ultrasound, because you get better visibility of the baby, which is really cool to know. So I hope that you guys find that little tip helpful. But yeah, I was using the restroom a lot more, and I was having vivid dreams about everything, everyone, my friends, my coworkers, people that I went to high school with almost 20 years ago. I was dreaming about everything, and it was such an adventure. And I think it was because, when you go into REM sleep, that's when you have your dream. But when you're in a waking cycle, that means that you go back into REM sleep a lot often than what you normally would if you just slept through the night. So I think the reason why I was having such vivid dreams, or recalling them, not that I didn't have them before, I was recalling them because I was waking up in the middle of the night that much more. There were some nights where I would go to use the bathroom, I would get into bed, and then 30 minutes later, I was finally ready to go to sleep. I'm like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom. So yeah, that's when I started to experience that week 8 through 12. And then I was also just really tired. I was just so tired to where I would just want to sit on the couch and do nothing, or sit in my bed and do nothing. Or my son, he does karate, and I'm like, oh, well, do you need me to go upstairs to the class? Or, can I sit in the car and just sit? I was just so exhausted. I was sleeping longer. I was going to bed earlier. I was just really, really tired week 8 through 12. My nausea was peaking at night. So after I would have my shower at night, I would get ready to get in the bed, and immediately that's when I was not feeling good. I was uncomfortable. And then I was still spotting every single day. I think I talked about this in another video too, where I said that I was spotting. I was still spotting week 8 through 12. It wasn't every day, and it wasn't a lot, but often I was spotting. Fluttering. So a lot of people, they don't believe that it can happen as early as it happens, right? So fluttering is when you're feeling fetal movement, and they say that it happens later in pregnancy. But they also say that it can happen earlier in pregnancy if it's your second baby. Not only is it my second baby, but I also had a tummy tuck. So I know that when the doctor did my tummy tuck last year, he had to move some things around to suture my abs and, get rid of the belly fat that I didn't want. And so I also wonder if my uterus is a lot closer to the top of my skin than where it would have been if I hadn't had my tummy tuck. My tummy was actually really, really tight. I didn't even start showing until probably most recently, and I do think that's because of my tummy tuck. So I think that's probably why I was able to feel the fluttering, and I wasn't able to feel it on the outside. I could feel it on the inside. It almost feels like little butterflies, honestly like you're gonna be sick. Like the movement was just making me sick, and that's how I knew it was fluttering. Aside from the movement, it was literally like butterflies inside, which is really cool. My blood pressure peaked in week 9. So much so to where my doctor advised that I get a blood pressure cuff. And so I would take my blood pressure in the morning and at night and just kind of keep track of it. My blood pressure tends to be higher. I have like heart conditions and blood pressure issues on the maternal side of my family. But during pregnancy, it peaked. So I don't really know why it is. It just peaked. So what I started to do was really change some of my eating habits. I think I eat pretty clean, but there's always a way to eat even cleaner. So that's what I've been really doing to try to monitor it, because it's really important for me to have a vaginal birth this time, whereas last time I had an emergency C-section. And if you run into complications, and high blood pressure is being one of them, it can reduce my chances of being able to have a successful VBAC. So I'm really conscious of making sure that I'm making healthful decisions every single day with what I consume, also stress levels, and then making sure that I get some fitness in too. Rather it's just cleaning the whole house, or it's actually going to the gym and working out. I try to get that in there. Week 8 through 12, I also had headaches. I had gas, to where, oh my God, the gas was so painful. Like I felt like I was gonna fart. I did. It wasn't ladylike. And I tell my man, like, babe, like, can you go somewhere? Because I didn't think I could hold it in, honestly. And I did a really good job of holding it in. But when I tell you, like, the pregnancy gas is something serious, it is so serious. And it hurts, too. I think you mamas know what I'm talking about. And then also, I had a decrease in appetite in week 11. So nothing tastes good anymore. I don't have cravings for anything. And just nothing tastes good. Everything makes me feel like I'm going to vomit, starting in week 11. Also, that's when my nipples started to get really, really sore, painfully sore, and they were chafing as well. But those were just some of the symptoms that I had week 8 through 12 that I thought that I would share with you guys. You can let me know if you have similar experiences, and if you wanted to comment down below. Again, I'm Brittany Lachey. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, like this video, look at a few others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.